Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. Folks, I'm about to show you two different articles, and these articles are exactly opposite of each other. Check this out. Silver price has bullish opportunities on geopolitical issues. The second article, silver price forecast, bearish outlook amid Fed policy and Middle East uncertainty. So both of these articles are saying geopolitical issues, this uncertainty is giving silver a bullish outlook and a bearish outlook. You see how if someone just read one or the other, how they could be perceiving the market as something that it's not? Something as simple as just reading an article can sway your opinion on what's happening so dramatically, when both of these articles both came out around the same time, a couple days apart from each other. So I want to dissect, compare and contrast both of these articles and see what both of the points are and see if we can get an idea on what's really going to happen. Now, yes, nobody can say what will happen for sure. There's so many unknown variables going on right now. And anyone who thinks they do know what's going to go on, or they do know what silver is going to do, or anything, don't listen to them, because that means they're selling you BS, because there's so many unknown variables that are happening on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis right now. So take this with a pinch of salt. It's kind of like the weatherman. So let's just jump straight into it. Silver price has bullish opportunities on geopolitical issues. Metals are experiencing an upward trend this week due to geopolitical tensions between Israel and Hamas. During times of uncertainty, investors tend to favor safer and more stable assets and commodities as they are less inclined to take risks. And that is very true. And that's why the second article is very interesting, since they're saying that silver has a bearish outlook with Middle East uncertainty. Maybe it ties into something else, but I really do want to look at both of these perspectives and try to see where they're both coming from unbiasedly. So anyways, let me know in the comment section as well what you think about this. So stocks are generally viewed as riskier assets during such periods. Even currencies can be perceived as uncertain, except for the US dollar. And that's for obvious reasons, but that's very short-sighted, given, if you understand the truth behind the dollar. I guess truth would be the proper word. But anyways, this week has witnessed a significant surge in metals prices, particularly silver, which has risen by nearly 10% from its low of $20.70. This price movement has been quite substantial, attracting the attention of both investors and traders who may be considering joining this upward trend. Which, that's a good point. Both sides, the day-to-day traders and people who maybe are in this for the long haul, which I hope you are. So looking at it from an Elliott Wave perspective, silver appears to be within the middle of a broader range, and the breakout might need some more time until the ABCDE triangle pattern is completed. However, when the breakout eventually occurs, it's likely to lead to sharp and profitable moves. A lot of people are saying that there's a huge resistance level at $30, a psychological level at $30. Since we've been seeing it, barely scratch the surface, even dating back to February 2021 during the Wall Street silver thing. So they're saying that if it breaks above 30, we would see probably $35, maybe even $40 silver coming next year. And if it breaks above $50, the extreme resistance level and the psychological level, silver was $50 in 1980 and $50 in 2011, we would see that explode. And even people are saying if it breaks above $30, it will explode, given so many different factors. So anyways, what exactly is a triangle pattern? I like how they break this down. A lot of times they don't. They'll just say this stuff, these terms, and expect everyone to know them, even though a lot of us just buy silver and hold on to it, and we're not really into the chart side of things. A triangle is a continuation pattern characterized by ABCDE subwaves with each leg containing corrective subdivisions. Typically, The breakout point occurs at the swing high of a wave D in an uptrend or at the swing low in a downtrend. Until one side of the triangle is decisively breached, the price can remain trapped within this range for an extended period. Therefore, it's essential to adapt your trading strategy between significant levels during this time. See, if you're not a day trader, which I'm sure most of you aren't, and if you are, actually let me know. I am curious, because I'm more curious, if you are a day trader, why silver? Like if you're someone who's going to do this, why pick precious metals, or why pick silver? At least I'm just curious. These are questions I'd like to know. And do you also buy the physical? That's really the question I want to ask. So given the circumstances, I intend to exercise caution and remain mindful of my minimum upward projection as I adjust my trading plan accordingly. My approach will be to consider long positions after a pullback. Support is at $21, $21.50. Upward projections $24.25. That's the bullish side of things. They're saying it could go up to $24.25, which right now silver is sitting at $22.98. We could look at like the 1 week chart. So you see it got all the way up to around $24. Look at the 1 month chart, get a little bit of you see, it was down to near $19, or, the $19 psychological level, I would say, because just like at the store, they're going to price something $19.99 instead of $20. Even though it's 1 penny difference, just seeing 19 in the teens makes a huge difference. That's psychology. It looks a lot lower, even if it's a 1 penny difference. So anyways, let's go into the bearish outlook. Silver price forecast. Bearish outlook amid Fed policy, Middle East uncertainty. This was written 3 days after the article we just talked about. So silver grapples with geopolitical risks and Fed moves pressured by U.S. Treasury yields and a bearish short-term outlook from the CFTC data. Highlights: Middle East conflict influences silver's safe haven appeal, which is very bullish. Fed comments and Treasury yields restrain silver prices, which that changes on a week-to-week basis. Bearish sentiment dominates according to the government's commitment of traders report. So here is the balancing act between geopolitical risks and economic indicators. In a tug of war between geopolitical risks and domestic economic forces, silver finds itself precariously poised. And that is a good point. The metal, often considered a barometer for investor sentiment, is being buffeted by conflicting signals, which it definitely is. With mixed cues coming from geopolitical tensions, Federal Reserve policies, and key economic data, traders are left wondering, what's the next move for silver? Middle East conflict and safe haven appeal. A few weeks ago, escalating hostilities between Israel and Hamas had investors flocking to silver as safe haven asset. This boosted its prices, offering a temporary relief rally. However, recent developments indicate a potential thaw in the Middle East crisis, which increased focus on humanitarian aid and diplomacy. This could dampen silver's appeal as a risk-off asset, thus applying downward pressure on its price. And that's very, it's not very short-sighted. There is some, there's some leg room to this. At the end of the day, he said something a sentence ago that's more important. This boosted its prices, referring to investors flocking to silver as a safe haven, and that gives a relief rally. Demand is identical to the price. When silver demand rises, when not only investors but the industrial side of things rises, when people need and companies need more and more silver, that pushes the price higher. And we know that demand is only going to be booming over the next decade. So what does that say about the price? The price will be booming with it as well. And that's not a myth. That is actual data. We are going to need more and more and more silver as we go green, as solar panels flood the earth, as 5G towers flood the earth, as electric vehicles flood the earth. That is a fact. We're going to need more and more silver. Demand exceeded 1.21 billion ounces this year, but supply was the lowest. We had record-breaking supply deficits. We've never been this much in the red in terms of supply and demand ever, and it's only going to get worse. So what does that say about silver's price? It's going to get higher. A plus B equals C. You don't have to think much past that itself. This isn't rocket science, but silver is used in rockets. Influence of the Fed and U.S. Treasury yields. Adding to the market's uncertainty is Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's recent commentary. And this is extremely minute, short-sighted. Powell hinted that curbing inflation might necessitate lower economic growth, a statement that sent U.S. Treasury yields soaring to multi-year highs. Higher yields traditionally create a headwind for non-interest-bearing assets like silver. Specifically, the 10-year Treasury yield recently peaked at over 5%, a level not seen since 2007, restraining silver prices below the $24.05 mark. And then we have upcoming economic indicators. Remember, extremely speculative. So traders are keenly awaiting a slew of economic data that could tip the scales for silver. Top of the list are price index and the Fed's preferred inflation measure, along with the third quarter GDP figures. Additionally, decision from the European Central Bank and global flash PMIs are on the radar. These data points could either substantiate or alleviate current inflation fears, thereby influencing silver's direction. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of push and pull, a lot of volatility, especially since silver is a much smaller market than gold. It hits higher highs and lower lows. That's why it's more risky. Profit from it, but you could also lose a lot of money from it compared to gold, which is a little more stable. If gold's going to rise 5%, silver's going to rise 10%. And that's why you see silver making the most dramatic moves right now. So, we do see something that that might push silver or keep silver, I guess, low for the coming weeks. Who knows? But like I said, there's a much bigger picture at play here. These are not the reasons. We're not talking about interest rates why we're investing into silver. If it was just that itself, I would invest into gold. Right? There's another reason, a much bigger reason, the bigger picture. Not only silver since it's real money, but also because it has this whole other side to it beyond gold, which is just money, and that is the industrial side, the shortage of it, the upcoming shortage of it. Some people get that a little mixed up. When I say a silver shortage, they say, well, I can still go on AppMex and buy silver. There's no shortage. There is. We had record-breaking supply deficits this year, hundreds of millions of ounces in the red. The LBMA, COMEX, and LME all said that their vaults are near empty. U.S. Mint a couple of years ago said that they're having a hard time finding silver planchets to make their coins. That's why they had to halt the 2022 silver peace dollars and Morgan silver dollars. And that's why Perth Mint also came out and said this, and I think it was the Royal Mint as well. And that's why everyone's scientists even are trying to push ways to find silver, whether it's recycling, you're going to see that more pop up, or whether it's turning it in, who knows, or mining innovation. But even Hecla Mining, I made a video, I think yesterday, Hecla Mining, the CEO of Hecla Mining is extremely bullish on silver, and he said silver. So, you don't have to speculate to see the obvious signs that silver has a lot of opportunity beyond everything else, I could confidently say. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought the video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to subscribe. I post daily videos. I'll be picking the winner of my giveaway probably next week. I think next week sounds good. I'll let you guys know the exact date. If you guys want to go enter for a chance to win some silver, then the entry video is in the description. I'll put it in the pinned comment as well. And if you guys wanted to purchase silver, just send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. Weekly deals. Ask them what today's deal. Every Monday there's new deals. Ask them what the new deal is today. I will find out tomorrow, for sure by tomorrow, since I'm making this video at a time where I haven't gotten updated yet. But yeah, they got everything there. And Andy Scheckman's the CEO, so you know he'll hook you up. And if there's ever a problem, God forbid, just send me an email and I can call them and they'll fix it. So you have that safety net that everything will always be fixed. Yeah, or if there was a problem, unlike other places where I've heard a lot of horror stories. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.